What if the greatest love story ever told wasn't a fairy tale, but the true account of a teenage queen who ruled a global empire and the one man who ruled her heart? This isn't just a story of crowns and castles. It's the story of a love so powerful it would define an entire age, a love that began with a reluctant meeting and ended with a bond that even death itself could not break. Welcome to Gift of the Magi, and today we uncover the passionate and heartbreaking romance of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. In the early 19th century, Great Britain was a nation on the brink of immense change. The Industrial Revolution was churning, cities were expanding, but the monarchy's reputation was tarnished by scandal. Into this world, in 1819, a princess was born, Alexandrina Victoria. From a young age, her life was anything but a fairy tale. After her father's early death, she was raised under the strict and isolating Kensington system, a set of rules designed by her mother and her ambitious advisor, Sir John Conroy. She was rarely allowed to be alone, her every move was monitored, and she was kept from the royal court, a lonely girl destined to one day wear the world's most powerful crown. As Victoria approached her 17th birthday, the need to find her a suitable husband became a matter of state importance. Her uncle, King William IV, favored one match, while her mother favored another. A thoughtful, handsome prince from the small German duchy of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. His name was Albert. The stage was set for a birthday celebration that would change the course of British history. Prince Ernst. We are approaching the gates now. Remember, Albert, I am here to win the hand of the future Queen of England. As your older brother, I expect your full support. Now, let's review the plan. Prince Albert. Looking thoughtful, slightly nervous. Ernst, we have been over this 100 times. You will laugh at her jokes, you will recite your dreadful poetry, and you will ask her to dance. I will. Nod in approval. Prince Ernst. Exactly. But have you considered the possibility that she might just not like me? Prince Albert. The thought had crossed my mind. Prince Ernst. Are you serious? I am a prince. I am charming and, more importantly, rich. What could she possibly not like? Victoria had been told to expect them, but nothing could have prepared her for the moment she first laid eyes on Albert. Prince Ernst. Your Highness, I am Prince Ernst. I come bearing the warmest greetings and birthday wishes from all of Germany. Princess Victoria. Welcome, Prince Ernst, to Kensington Palace and to my birthday festivities. I trust your journey was a pleasant one. Prince Ernst. Entirely pleasant, Your Highness, except for a minor encounter with a rather large bear on the road. I told him if he valued his hide, he'd best let us pass. Princess Victoria. And who might this be? Prince Albert. Prince Albert, Your Highness. Rumors of your exquisite beauty have indeed reached our shores, but I find now they were profound understatements. They pale in comparison to the honor of standing in your presence. Prince Ernst. I beg your pardon, Your Highness. My younger brother can be a bit forward. Princess Victoria. No need to apologize, Prince Ernst. We welcome you both to my party. That evening, something ignited between them. It wasn't just a polite flirtation. It was a meeting of minds. They spoke of art, music, and their shared sense of duty. For the first time, Victoria felt truly seen, not as a princess, but as a person. And Albert was utterly captivated by her intelligence and spirit. The visit was short, but its impact was everlasting. As Albert prepared to return to Germany, he knew he couldn't simply leave. Prince Albert, my dearest Victoria, I beg your forgiveness for not saying a proper goodbye this evening, but I must return to Germany on urgent business. I would be so bold as to request the honor of writing to you. I long to learn more about you. I thank the heavens for bringing me to you and wish you the happiest of birthdays. Albert. Victoria was overjoyed, and so began a correspondence that would form the bedrock of their relationship. True to his word, Albert wrote every week. His letters were her lifeline, filled with encouragement, humor, and a profound understanding of the pressures she faced. He became her closest confidant, her advisor, and her friend, all through the power of ink and paper. This period was crucial in building the deep trust that defined their incredible Queen Victoria and Prince Albert bond. But their world was about to be turned upside down. One morning, a letter with a black seal arrived from London. King William IV was dead. At the tender age of 18, the lonely Princess of Kensington was now queen of the most powerful empire on earth. Queen Victoria ascended the throne with a resolve that surprised many. She immediately dismissed Sir John Conroy and moved her mother to a distant suite of rooms in Buckingham Palace. She was finally in control. Yet, as she navigated the treacherous waters of politics with her Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, she relied more and more on Albert's comforting letters. But letters were no longer enough. After a period of deliberate silence, orchestrated to make her miss him, Albert was invited back to England. Queen Victoria. Oh, Albert, how I have missed you. Prince Albert. And you. Victoria. Queen Victoria. You mean Queen Victoria. Victoria knew what she wanted, but royal protocol was strict. As the reigning monarch, no man could ask for her hand in marriage. The proposal had to come from her. Queen Victoria. Can I ask you something, Albert? Prince Albert. Of course. Queen Victoria. What would you say if I asked you to marry me? Prince Albert. Marry you? Well, we both know it is quite improper for a man to propose to the Queen. Queen Victoria. That's not what I mean, Albert. I am asking, would you accept? Prince Albert. Can I think about it? Queen Victoria. Absolutely. You can think about it while locked in the Tower of London. Prince Albert. Well, since you put it that way, that is not a simple yes. That is a resounding, wholehearted yes. The day Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were married, February 10, 1840, was a national celebration. Victoria famously wore a white gown, starting a tradition that continues to this day. The crowds cheered for their young queen and her handsome prince. It was the fairy tale beginning to the most famous royal love story in modern history. But marriage was not just about romance. It was a partnership. Albert, now the prince consort, initially struggled to find his place. The court was suspicious of him, and Parliament refused to grant him a title of his own. He was the Queen's husband, but he had no official power. Queen Victoria. What is this? You are changing the nurseries without my approval? Prince Albert. They needed modernizing, Victoria. I am trying to help, to be useful. But at every turn, I am reminded that I am a guest in this house, not its master. Queen Victoria. You are my husband. That should be enough. Their marriage was passionate and, at times, volatile. They argued fiercely, often locking themselves in a room until the disagreement was resolved. But their love and mutual respect always won. Over time, Victoria began to rely on Albert completely. He became her private secretary, her chief advisor, and the steady hand that guided her through the complexities of rule. And soon, their family grew. Parenthood brought them immense joy. Yet, with each child, Victoria felt the strain of her dual roles as mother and monarch. She often suffered from what we would now call postpartum depression, and it was Albert who comforted her and increasingly took on the burden of her duties. Prince Albert. My love, the Prime Minister needs these documents signed by Tuesday. Queen Victoria. I think we may need to speak to Bertie. He is playing so rough all the time. Prince Albert. Victoria. I love you, you know that. But you are the Queen of England. It is your guidance the country needs right now. I can only do so much. Queen Victoria. Do not mistake your assistance for governing itself. Do not assume that a queen cannot be overwhelmed. Despite these struggles, their partnership flourished. Albert championed groundbreaking social causes, like the abolition of slavery, and was the mastermind behind the Great Exhibition of 1851, a spectacular showcase of industry and culture that defined the optimism of the Victorian era. He wasn't just the Queen's husband, he was the nation's guiding light. For 21 years, they were inseparable. Victoria often remarked that she couldn't imagine life without him. She would not have to imagine for long. As Christmas of 1861 approached, Albert, whose health had been slowly declining for years, fell gravely ill. Queen Victoria, the doctor says you are going to pull through this just fine. You just need to rest. Prince Albert, Victoria, you were never a good liar. Queen Victoria, please don't leave me, Albert. I can't live without you. I cannot do this alone. Prince Albert, I will always be with you, my love. Queen Victoria, no. Albert, Albert. On December 14, 1861, Prince Albert died of typhoid fever, surrounded by his wife and children. He was only 42 years old. The light of Victoria's life, and in many ways, the light of the nation, had gone out. Victoria's grief was absolute, a crushing, suffocating weight. She wrote, "How am I to live, to move, to help myself? I, who leaned on him for all and everything." From that day forward, she wore only black, a symbol of her eternal mourning that she would never relinquish. The vibrant young queen was gone, replaced by the reclusive widow of Windsor. Her retreat from public life was total. She refused to attend the opening of Parliament, to host dinners, or to participate in any public functions. For years, the government was in a state of crisis. How could the country run without its monarch? She continued her rituals in private, demanding that Albert's clothes be laid out every morning and hot water brought to his shaving basin, as if he might walk in at any moment. Prime Minister, the Queen has not been seen in public for 3 years. Republican sentiment is growing. People are asking what they need a monarch for if she will not do her duty. We must do something. Her grief was so profound that it threatened the very institution she and Albert had worked so hard to preserve. The public, initially sympathetic, grew frustrated. But Victoria was lost in her own world of sorrow, a world where only her Albert existed. Queen Victoria, I am to be buried next to my dearest Albert. Place his dressing gown in the coffin with me, and a plaster cast of his hand in mine. And on my other side, a photograph of John Brown. On January 22, 1901, after a reign of almost 64 years, Queen Victoria died. She had meticulously planned her own funeral to be not a somber affair, but a tribute to the love of her life. She was laid to rest in the mausoleum at Frogmore, finally reunited with her husband. The story of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert is more than a historical account. It is a testament to a love that was a partnership, a friendship, and an epic romance. It was a love that shaped an empire, defined an era, and proved that even in a life of immense public duty, the most powerful force of all is the bond between two human hearts. If you were moved by the incredible love story of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, please show your support by giving this video a like and subscribing to Gift at the Magi for more journeys into the most fascinating stories from history. Let us know in the comments what you find most inspiring about their relationship. Thank you for watching.